The Marshall Islands is one of the world's most remote nations. This collection of over 1,000 islands and atolls lies scattered across a vast swathe of ocean, roughly halfway between Hawaii and Papua New Guinea. Some 70,000 people call this land home, and the majority of them live on Majuro Atoll. Following World War II, the Marshall Islands were governed by the United States until their independence in 1986. During the years of US control, the Marshall Islands was used as a testing site by the Americans for their nuclear weapons, with the detonations here 1,000 times more powerful than the bomb that was dropped on Hiroshima. Many Marshallese people were driven from their land, whole islands were completely destroyed, and the nuclear radiation caused widespread illnesses which still linger to this day. The fallout contributed to a legacy of poverty and underdevelopment, and unsurprisingly, sporting pursuits are not high on the list of priorities here. However, as Transworld Sport has been discovering, this impoverished land is far from a sporting black hole. In the latest of our series of reports from the Marshall Islands, we turn our attention to volleyball.
Volleyball is the most popular sport amongst the women of the Marshall Islands. We also play basketball and softball, but volleyball is without doubt number one. We just love it.
Rutha Pedro is the leading female volleyball player in the Marshall Islands. The 19-year-old is the captain of the national team, and she's someone who's aiming to raise the standard of the women's game here in the years ahead.
Like most girls here, I started playing volleyball when I was in primary school. It's a sport that has always come naturally to me. Growing up, I used to play with my friends all the time. We'd always be somewhere hitting balls. In high school, my game improved a lot.
Rutha and the national team of the Marshall Islands train twice a week. They practice in the evenings at the only indoor facility in the country, a gym belonging to a school run by the Seventh-day Adventist Church. The Marshall Islands don't play many international matches due to the high costs involved in travelling to overseas competitions. But when they do, they compete against teams in the Micronesian region, such as Guam, Ponape and Palau. At the recent Micronesian Games, the Marshall Islands finished a creditable 5th in the women's volleyball competition. The goal of the team is to break into the medal positions. To that end, they've appointed a new coach in Pranson Eliu, who hails from Ponape.
From this short amount of time that I've been with these girls, watching them playing, watching them practicing, and also helping them, assisting them in practicing, their strength is they're really strong hitters. That's the main thing that I see in them, but the weakness that I see in them is I want to train them, or I want them to know how to play smart.
Pranson has brought in a more disciplined approach. In a country where things are said to happen at their own laid-back pace, or on Marshallese time, players are now expected to turn up on time for training. The coach has also brought structure to the sessions, and the squad has responded positively. Lack of height on the team is a drawback. The people of this land are not known for their height. At 5'7", Rutha is the tallest player on the squad.
She's not just a good hitter, but she can pass, she can set, she can hit anywhere. Yeah, she's a smart player. When she's in the air, she knows there are blocks up there. She can play smart and just push the ball wherever there is opening.
We've got a good bunch of girls in the Marshall Islands squad, and we're united. We want to be able to win tournaments that we enter and make our country proud. We're committed to improving our national team, even though we all have busy lives away from volleyball. Some of us have kids, work, and other stuff to deal with, so it can be quite demanding, but we're prepared to make sacrifices.
Rutha lives with her partner Jiko and their 18-month-old daughter Ria. Home is in a village called Laura in the west of Majuro. Prior to becoming pregnant, Rutha had been set to join the US Army. It's a well-worn career path for many youngsters in the Marshall Islands, and one that pays well by Marshallese standards. Moving overseas wouldn't have been a new experience for Rutha, as she spent 2 years living in Hawaii growing up.
I had passed all the tests, held all the relevant qualifications, and was ready to join the army. But then I found out that I was pregnant. I abandoned my plans and ended up having a child, which I don't regret at all, because she has brought so much joy into my life and into the lives of my family and those around me.
Rutha now has her sights set on a career as a nurse. She's currently studying at the College of the Marshall Islands and is hoping to get a job at the main hospital in Majuro once she's qualified. Jiko already works there in the hospital's administration department. Good jobs are hard to come by in the Marshall Islands, and life here is generally tough. Despite the idyllic setting, many people live in poverty and have poor health. On top of this, rising sea levels brought about by climate change threaten the very existence of the islands themselves. Some studies have stated that much of the islands could be submerged in a little over 50 years' time. Understandably, Rutha is nervous about what the future holds for her daughter's generation.
The whole issue of climate change and rising sea levels is something that we have been debating here for a while now. We know things are changing. The sea is slowly getting higher and higher. We can see it with our own eyes, and there's nothing we can do about it. It is scary, and it will have a massive impact on the younger generation. What will happen? I don't know, but we are all worried about it.
The people of the Marshall Islands have had to deal with massive destruction to their land before with the nuclear tests of the 1950s. Now they're once again faced with the possibility of mass displacement of communities through no fault of their own. In the face of such adversity, the people here remain fiercely proud of their country. And it's in the sporting sphere, where Rutha and her friends can give expression to that patriotism. The women's volleyball team of the Marshall Islands may only have limited skill levels, modest facilities and near non-existent budgets, but they have a passion for the game and the desire to make an impact on regional tournaments in the forthcoming years.
Volleyball means so much to me. It's built up my self-esteem, and I have a lot of fun with my friends playing it. The sport helps to bring the women of this nation together, and for me, that is very important.
Subscribe now to our YouTube channel for the very best of Trans World Sports.